Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Annapurni. Not only in our country, all over the world, Durbhiksham is on the increase. You can make any number of machines and can create any number of factories, but the growth of plants is not in our hands. Without agricultural well-being and sufficiency of production, without sufficiency in availability of food, whatever other subhiksham you may have, the net effect will only be durbhiksham. Have you got the meaning of the word durbhiksham now? Bhiksham means what is given to the beggar. Durbhiksham means bad alms. All our intelligence and industrial capabilities cannot make a plant grow and cannot create a rainfall. Though we are trying to tinker with nature in seeding the clouds for artificial rainfall and our forays into genetic engineering of plant seeds, these remain random, sporadic, and inefficient. The most effective alternative is to sincerely pray to Annapurni, who can excuse our errant behavior and grant us the arm of sufficiency in food. When our Acharya Adi Shankara was in Kashi, that is Varanasi, sang a song on Annapurni, a name by which Ambal is addressed. In that song, at the end of each stanza, he sincerely beseeches Ambal, who is like a staff installed on the ground for enabling a young plant to catch hold of and grow with a melting heart to grant Bhikshay or Ram. Bhiksham Dehi Kripava Lambanakari Mata Annapurneshwari. Bhiksham Dehi. When he says he is not begging for himself, he must have been very well looked after and revered wherever he went those days. Moreover, Acharya never had much care for his own body, nor was he interested in filling his stomach. He had risen much above the ideas of me and mine. Once he was accosted by a Kapalika named Kirakasa, who said that he had to offer the head of an emperor or an ascetic for Kapali's darshan. Acharya told him, by looking for an emperor's head, you are likely to lose yours. You better take this, a sannyasi's head, he said, pointing out by hand at his own head. Note that he did not say, take my head. Such was his lack of deha abhimanam, ahankaram, that is, body consciousness or ego. So when he says, give me alms, evidently he is praying on behalf of all of us. Look at the last of the shlokas in which he says, my mother is Parvati, my father is Parmeshwara, all Shiva devotees are my relatives, all the three worlds are my home. So when he begs, he is begging the supreme power in being on behalf of all the three worlds. He makes the request to Ambal to suit us who do always pray for ourselves only. It is not enough to pray for food only. What is the use of only eating and filling this gross body of ours and putting on weight? Is it not more important to grow in understanding and awareness? Annapurni Ambal, who stands readily with the utensil full of annam and milk with the serving spoon, also imparts the food for the mind and soul. It is this arm that Acharya specially asks for. In Kanchi Kamakshi, Annapurneshwari is included. Traditionally, she used to be offered 2 nari measures of rice, with which she managed the growth of 32 different dharmas. So, nari must have been a substantial measure. Amongst them, Annadana was one. In Kamakotam, there is the Sannidhanam of Annapurneshwari. Sundaramurti Swamigal, while addressing the Ishvara in the Bhikshanti Kolam in Ona Kantan Thali, asks him in a lighter vein as to why he should resort to the role of a beggar when there is Annapurni in Kamakotam. Varirum Kural Nedungan, Malai Magal Madu, Vimmu Kondrai, தாரிரும் தட மார்பு நீங்காத் தையலால் உலகு உய்ய வைத்த காரிரும் பொழில் கச்சி மூதூர்க் காமகோட்டம் உண்டாக நீர்போய் ஊரிடும் பிச்சை கொள்வதென்னே ஒன்காந்தன் தலையுளீரே. Let us also pray on behalf of all life forms to Annapurneshwari, who feeds the body, mind and soul, to remove all durbhiksham and bless us all with subhiksham. As a punishment for our sins, we suffer in durbhiksham, but Kamakshi, as Annapurni, blesses that even sinners should not suffer of hunger. In Kerala, there is a place, Serukkunam, which is also Annapurna Kshetram. There they feed all visitors. In addition, they hang food packets in the tree outside the temple so that not only the latecomers but even thieves may not get hungry. When such a mother is available today in the world, when things are going to awfully wrong, we can easily assess as to how much we have sinned individually and collectively against ourselves and nature. In Sarak Samhita, there is a prediction as stated by Atreya. He says, in a country or city or village, if the people in power misbehave, the common man is left with no choice but to copy and follow. When adharma thus becomes the norm, the Devas decide to forsake the people, since after all, Devas are like the bureaucracy of the government. When the Devas forsake the common man, seasons fail, atmosphere, oceans, rivers and the earth start with innumerable aberrations. It either does not rain or there is too much of rain. Out of season rain can be equally harmful as lack of rain in season. Floods, earthquakes and melting of ice caps occur. New mutations of disease-causing germs happen. In short, Atreya seems to describe the effects of what we call global warming, tsunami, ozone depletion, and AIDS. To get relief from all these ills of Durbhikshay, we have to cut down on industrialization, cut down on use of carbon-based fuels, remain truly faithful to one male-female in our sexual relations, and most importantly, abide with the directions of Kanchi Shankaracharya. To get out of this vicious cycle of self-destruction, we have to realize our errors and make an about turn in our attitudes. Then Annapurni herself will give us Annabhikshay and Jnanabhikshay. Her entire being is Jnanamaya. Like from A to Z, from Earth to Kshar, she is of the form of all letters, Mantra Matruka Rupini. Abhikshanta Samasta Varnanakari, says Acharyal. She will not only take care of our physical well-being, but also our behavioral and attitudinal well-being. What sort of Jnanam will Annapurni give us? This is clarified in the end of Annapurni Stuti. At that state, Parmeshwara and Parvati will be recognized as our parents. All the life forms will be seen to be our brethren and siblings. All the three worlds become our hometown. We will automatically rise above the confines of all restricting parochialism of even national loyalty. This is even beyond international brotherhood. No more need for any lectures and propaganda. She is the mother and we are the children. From very old times, in practice, there has been such a sense of unity in the minds of the people of this country. For God's sake, the South Indian went to Kashi, Kashmir and Kailasha. For the same reason of God, the North Indian came down to Balaji, Kalahasti, Guruvayur, Madurai and Rameshwaram. Without speeches on national integration and without being addressed as brothers and sisters by religious unity of beliefs and faith, we were children of one mother. At the level of intelligentsia, Sanskrit was the language of mutual unity. By harping on secular credentials, We have in some way sorted out the religion. Sanskrit has also been made defunct. Actually, there is unity in the whole country, in all the four corners, in uniformly setting aside the Hindu religion and Sanskrit language. Even language is only a secondary matter. It is enough to encourage devotion. Then the divisive feelings of my district, my caste, and my language within ourselves will vanish. When today there is more talk on the need for unity, only now there is more caste based divisions. Only now neighboring states are ready to fight on the basis of not being ready to share water. There is more division on not being ready to share food. By painting an imaginary picture that there has been much atrocities and unfair exploitation on the basis of caste and language, there is more caste based politics and vote gathering tactics. The one binding force was religion and resultant devotion. Even now, that is the only cure all panacea. Real devotion can and will only metamorph itself into unconditional universal love. There will be no place for anything other than mutual helpfulness. Tirumular says, Anbe Shivam, meaning Shivam is love. That is knowledge and awareness, says Tayamanavar. If you know and are aware, you will be loving and kind. Let us beg to Mother Annapurni for that knowledge, awareness, and love. That is prayer made by Acharyal on our behalf. That is Om Annapurne Sadapurne Shankara Pranavallabhe Jnana Vairagya Siddhyartham Bhiksham Dehicha Parvati. Mother's love for her child is total, complete, and pure, not to be matched by any other in the whole world. Whatever is the baby, whether the child responds with love or not, the mother continues to shower all the love on the offspring. This is best described in the Tamil aphorism Perra Manam Pittu Pilli Manam Kallu, meaning that the mother's heart is love mad and the offspring's heart is stony. There is a shloka by the name Devi Aparadha Kshamapana Stotram, by which we tell her our errors of commission and omission and ask for pardon. There is a line in that shloka which says, there can be bad children but never a bad mother. Total unconditional love and selfless preservedness can only be seen in a mother. From the time of conception, we get attached to mother. There is a physical umbilical cord till birth. Then there is an emotional cord. From the supply of food for everything, the child depends on the mother. It is at the time of childhood that this attachment is most strong. In the animal world, this attachment is most evident. The way the young dotes on the mother and takes much joy in shouting, Amma, makes you wonder if the word Amma has been copied by the humans from the animal world only. Not only in Tamil, in Telugu, Kannada, Marathi, it is the same Amma. In Malayalam, they say Ammai. In Sanskrit, it is Ma and Amba. And in Hindi, it is Ma and Mai. In English, it is Mummy and Mamma. All these words seem to have evolved from the Amma of the offspring of the cow. Let this mother's love be set aside. She is only the mother for this body. After death, there are no more connections and attachments. Once her body or our body is no more, this connection ceases. Then comes a period of residence in some other womb. Another mother. Unlike this mother for the body only, there is a mother for life forever. The body dies and dissipates, and so does the mother-child connection. What is called the Uyir in Tamil, call it Atma or life, that never dies as the body. For this Uyir or Atma or life, there is a mother who is permanent. eternal for all times, the mother ever ready, like the cow for the cattle, in n number of births, at all times, for all life forms, there is this mother to recognize whom is the very purpose of existence. That is the way for transcending the cycle of birth and death too. Instead of transferring our attachments from one biological mother to another biological mother, we can forever get connected to the Supreme Mother. All our power is hers only. The one indivisible Parashakti seemingly exhibits bits and pieces of power in all the multivarious life forms. There is just no logic in our feeling proud about any of our achievements personally, because all that we do is with her power only. Once we become aware of this simple truth, automatically surrender happens. This awareness also brings with it the awareness that she is taking care, like the mother who provides the necessities to the child without the child having to ask for it. Once you have sincere, true devotion, she takes care of all that is needed, including the right education, knowledge, wealth, bodily beauty, and through all this attain to Atma Jnana too. Forget about our getting Atma Advaita Jnana and being happy as a result. That happens one day when all our karma vinay is undone. Let us not have any feeling of inadequacy that we do not have Atma Jnana now. Now, just now, we have our mother. Let us be devoted to her. This very process of being devoted is happiness. This is an end in itself. This is true for us and everyone, as she is the mother for all of us. Mangalaharathi. Conclusion. Hanuman will bless. Anjaneya Swami is something special. If we look into what all he blesses his devotees with, this uniqueness of his will be somewhat understood. Buddhir balam yashodhairyam nirbhayatvam arogatam ajadyam vakpatutvam cha hanumat smaranat bhavet. The above shlokam says that just by thinking of Hanuman, his devotees happen to be blessed with the following attributes: brains and its optimum utilization in morally acceptable ventures, strength of body and character, fame, courageousness, fearlessness, total immunity from diseases, and effective power of speech. Normally, all these qualities will not be available in one and the same person. A brainy person may be physically weak. A very strong man may be quite an idiot. Strong man, if he also happens to be intelligent, may not be brave. If he happens to have all the above qualities, he may be a lazy fellow. Then, with all these qualities, if he happens to be industrious too, he may not have the power of expression. With no such hiccups, Anjaneya showers all these capabilities on his devotees. The reasons for this is that what we normally do not see as coexisting attributes are completely concurrent in him naturally. For example, a strong man may not be humble, an intelligent person may be too bloated with ego. In Hanuman, intelligence and physical strength is plentiful, while simultaneously he is foremost in humbleness and devotion. Though he is a giant and a titan, he considers all his greatness as Rama's blessings and stands humbly as a slave without asking for any position or placement. He is a contented slave without a want or demand. Devotees could be blind followers without an iota of jnana. Actually, there is often a conflict as to what bhakti is and what is jnana. But Anjaneya, while being devotee number one of Sri Rama, was also jnani number one who could, when asked for advice, Sri Rama. There is a shloka starting with the words Vaidehi Sahitam, which says that as Guru Dakshinamurti gives his Upadesha, keeping the four Sishyas starting with the one named Sanaka in the foreground, similarly Sri Rama gives his Upadesha, keeping Anjaneya Swami in the foreground. If you carefully pursue the Ramayana, especially after Kishkinda Kandam, you may note that on every occasion that whenever Sri Rama has asked the opinion of the people assembled, it is Hanuman who gives the most pertinent advice every time. Residing in the flag of Arjuna, Anjaneya had the privilege of listening to the complete Bhagavad Gita. In the language of the spirits, he is supposed to have given a commentary on Bhagavad Gita full of subtle and esoteric interpretations. He was a very learned man to this extent that Sri Rama himself calls him Navavyakarana Veta, meaning expert in the 9 different grammars. But controlling the powers of his body and mind, he is very happy as a devotee of Sri Rama. His preeminence in bhakti did not mean that he ignored his worldly responsibilities. He fought with mighty powers in saving the downtrodden from tyranny. He is a role model for social service. Simultaneously, he attained and maintained the highest level of bhakti, jnana, strength, bravery, fame, humility, and service. If there can be a personification of all these qualities together, that is none other than Anjaneya. Above all this is his celibacy. He is a clean and true brahmachari with no thought of kamam. Without any desire of his own, he fulfills all the requirements of Sri Rama. In Tamil Nadu, he is called Hanumar. In Kannadika, his name is Hanumantayya. In Andhra Pradesh, he is Anjaneyulu. In Maharashtra, he is popularly known as Maruti. In the north, he is addressed as Mahavir. There is no comparison or parallel. Just thinking about him will make you courageous. Kamam will disappear and we will be doing good to all with most humbleness. Wherever there is Ram Bhajan or Ram Dhun, he is certain to be there, listening in, unknown to us, with tears pouring out of his eyes. In these days of virulent self-promotion and self-propaganda, the most wanted qualification is silent contentness. Unsatisfied with whatever bounty we get, we keep wanting more and more of money. Name and fame, adulation and flattery, records and achievements, ad infinitum and nauseam. Our own agitations and restlessness have to come to a nullity. If we are to become aware of God's blessings, that is full, total completeness, Hanuman has to grant us that. His devotees will have no deficiencies, wants, or unfulfilled desires. For dharmam to spread in the whole world, we must approach Hanuman only. It is by his help that Ravana and Rakshasas were killed and Ramarajyam was established. By his presence in the flag on Arjuna's chariot, he had listened in to the narration of the whole of Bhagavad Gita and helped in the re-establishment of Dharmarajyam in the Indian subcontinent. Later, when morality and spirituality was on the decline, it was Samartha Ramdas, considered to be an avatar of Hanuman, who re-established Dharma through Shivaji's rule. Even now, his blessings are sorely needed. Our sincerity in the key for opening the Pandora's box of his blessing, Anjaneya Swami ki Jai. May Anjaneya Swami be ever victorious. End of Volume 1. Om Shri Mahaperiva Sharanam.